Good morning, and once again, welcome to Code with IJ. And today we are going to continue our series on tips from pragmatic to developers. And we are going to start with tip 21 that say literate the schedule with your code. What does this mean? That every code is a business logic. So when they give you a deadline or when they give you a particular task, make sure the code you are writing is in uniformity with that task. Break down the functionality, break down the business logic the way they have break down the user story for you. Don't try to like compile the future reference of maybe you see something that can scale up in 5 years time, and you're trying to write it in the code without knowing that before that thing scale up there might be some checks or some things that the business might want to have in mind. So make sure when you're coding, make sure you're writing it in alignment with that particular deadline. Be conscious of your user story, be conscious of the task, be conscious of the business logic. Don't write overboard or don't write without putting the business logic into consideration. Tip 22 say keep knowledge in plain text. Whenever you're jotting things down or taking notes of things that you want to do, make sure that it's in plain knowledge. Make sure that when you come back to it in another period of time, you'll be able to understand what you're doing. I have this notes in my notepad that it's called Elixir command. It contains more than just Elixir command. It contains the daily command that I run daily, and I'm even thinking that some of them I might just have to put them in script so that when I want to start some project, I just run that script and immediately everything just compile and work for me immediately. So when you're writing your code, make sure you're making things fast and making performance level very better for yourself. Make sure you're putting some checks in your code. You're not just writing your knowledge in using the code you're writing, and you're not putting a very simple plain text. So even in your comments, make sure it's in plain text. Even in your error message, is it in a plain text that somebody coming in reading that error will be able to understand, oh, why did this error occur. So tip 23 says use the power of command shell. Yes, in the command shell you can write scripts, you can run the default command. There's so many things you can do in the command shell. Make sure you are implementing the command shell in your work. You're not just coding blindly. You're not just trying to rebuild the whole system. There's a system that is working. See how you can work with the system, not rebuild the whole system. Tip 24 says use a single code editor. Where I know most of us have gone to the cursor editor that just came in. So many of us are using 4 or 5 editor. We are using this editor for one thing, that editor for another thing. Sometimes you're just complicating things for yourself. Learn a single editor, learn it very well, use it very well. VS Code, I when I move from A code to VS Code, I have been able to achieve something and be able to grow with VS Code, because now Copilot is in VS Code, and with Copilot it can give you a reasonable amount of AI response or AI feedback on, yeah, this is why this your code is breaking. So you can also use that as a learning journey. So you, with a code editor or any code editor you are using, it helps you to upskill and grow yourself. But if you're a master of none, an apprenticeship to all, you won't realize the benefits that code editor can give to you. So use a single code editor well. Tip 25 say always use the source code control. We have VS Code, we have GitHub, which is a version control, but more than GitHub is more than a version control. Is a source code control, meaning that you can see history of your code. If you write every PR, if every PR is a business logic, and you notice that, oh, my last PR I pushed into the system, broke down the whole system, you can go back to your previous PR and see which logic was being implemented, and your new PR, which logic are you being implemented. Because sometimes when you are correcting your code, you might have removed a very particular important line from your code, and you are so unconscious about that line because you have even forgotten that the line was there initially. And then you push your code and you notice that, oh, everything is not working in alignment. With VS Code, it takes you back to how the code was before you push down your code, so you're able to do a difference check between, oh, what I push and what is already in the system. So always use the control source command. So thank you all for sticking today's series on build smarter with tips from Pragmatic Programmer. So let's be smarter. Thank you. Subscribe, share to your family and friends, and once again, welcome to Code with I.